Welcome to Pile 11, the bonus reading, where we have all 10 cards for the perspective. Now, this is the theme of individuality. Individuality is shown here. With creativity, when you are alone, you must use your creativity to live, to play. This is a card that inspires making the most out of your time. Just because you're alone, just because you're bored, because you're waiting on someone, don't ever wait on someone. Use your time wisely for your own benefit, to do what makes you happy. This is why we make art. This is why we play video games. So we can embrace the moment. Spend our time alone to have a happy memory by ourselves. And now this could not be achieved if we were socializing. Have you ever tried to draw with someone else? It's a very awkward kind of social setting where you're both silent, you're just sitting there drawing, and you're not really socializing. So the art is best saved for when you are alone, when you can embrace your alone time. Now, this is the friendship card, and they are not alone. However, they all are individuals. They are showing their individuality. Okay, we have some different elements here. And they're all playing together because they're not trying to conform to a standard. They're showing their individual personalities. Their individual perspectives. This is a team. Now, a team benefits the most from having specialists. You don't want everybody the same on a team. For a team to be at its fullest, we got this mastermind up here looking over the team, leading the team. This is the leadership. And they're often alone at this top, right? Being a leader can be a very lonely journey. It's also lonely on the bottom when no one's paying attention to you. But in this group dynamic, this is a leader doing their job, leading, being the mastermind, and these are the specialists in their field. They all specialize in different areas with different elements. And this one utilizes all these elements to create a good team, to create cohesion. This is resonation. This is harmony. This is a good team dynamic. And so, as an individual, you can't take on the other role of a team member. You have to be a specialist in your field. So when you're in a team, group dynamic, you can utilize your individual talents for the whole collective. So when you're embracing the 111 of individuality, it doesn't mean don't socialize with people. It means be true to your own talents. Your own sparks, your own personality, what makes you you. Now, this could be the conformity card. This is like poison. If you're all the same, then the team doesn't function because everybody's trying just to fit in. They're people pleasing. This is a warning not to conform just to fit in somewhere, because that group's life will kick you out of that group. Okay, maybe this is social rejection, as confirmed with the isolation card. So you could have wanted a group dynamic like this, but the other people in the group weren't doing their job. They were acting like this. And so you had to do everything yourself. And so these other people, they're not worth your time. You shouldn't invest in this group, in this one, because they already outcast you. See, there's this phenomenon where people who are lower on the spiritual hierarchy, when they don't have talents, when they don't have confidence, then they attack the one that does, that has the potential. And they always attack the ones with the potential when these ones are at their weakest state, when they're just beginning. You know, 1-1-1 energy, new beginnings. Well, here's the interference. Here's the social strife, social ostracization, social discord. And so you feel alone and abandoned and broken when these people, you know, look at them, they're formless. They're not resonating at this individual mastery of a self, of a character. You know, you don't want to be in this group. You want to be in this group. And so, well, you might think that this group could be like this if they just embrace, they just spend the time to get to know you, but they never will. Because they don't function like that. They have no interest. These people, you know, you're dealing with people that you're interested in, but they're not showing you the characters that they truly are. I mean, one way or another, they are. Instead of embracing the friendship, they're choosing deceit and manipulation and jealousy, and that's just what these people operate with in this group dynamic. And so, what they do to you is backstab you. This is betrayal. And now you would never do this to them, because this isn't what you want. You want the friendship. You want the community. You want, all you wanted was a friend. And so, you know, what you want is just to harmonize. Just to have someone there. But the people in your life, they're not there. You are alone, and you have to work at everything yourself. This is manipulation. This is jealousy. This is unjustified anger. This is hoarding of resources. This is gossip, lies, just manipulation. All sorts of manipulation tactics. All because their agenda is this. Okay, whatever jealousy they have, you know, this could be ego, where these people are just inflated with their egos, and so they don't see you because they're too intoxicated, they're too drunk on their own selfishness in a bad way, that they don't take the time to get to know you, to see how special you are. And so they always, when you're assuming everything's gonna go like this, they always end up leaving you out in the cold alone and making the group dynamic go like this. And so the solution is to cut off your ties. cut off your ties with these manipulators, because they are not part of your community. Where was this card? It was over there. Okay. Now, the thing about being alone is to learn how to fill up your own cup. Okay, you're broken, you're damaged. There's this thing where some people do that they take a broken thing, like a cup, and they put it back together, but they put like this golden lining on the crack. So instead of hiding the crack, hiding the damage, hiding the scars, they showcase them as imperfection, as something that you could embrace. Like, you can't see that. Like this. These have the imperfections. My camera doesn't. Okay. Like this, for example. All these little imperfections, all these little scars and cracks and tears. It's beautiful. It creates something to look at, something interesting, something that has a story. And there's energy behind this damage of transformation and adaptation, and how the flaws and imperfections can be the most beautiful thing. And so what this does is transform us into something stronger, because we're aware of the pain. We can learn from that. We can avoid pain in the future, and we wouldn't be able to do that without ever experiencing this. So unfortunately, we have to be broken in order to learn how to mend and heal, to not hide the pain, to talk about what we've been through, to share. And eventually, you'll learn how to fill up your own cup. Once you heal yourself, then it doesn't matter whoever attacks you, because you will always have that knowledge on how to mend yourself. And another part of individuality is to put yourself first. Okay? If you're in a socially draining environment, you have to keep your cup of happiness and energy for yourself. You can't let these people steal you away or change your polarity, where you start crying, where they trigger you. They have that power and control only when you rely on them. And so you have to be self-reliant in order to remove yourself emotionally from this dynamic that will never happen. And through this pain, quite interestingly enough, this kind of looks like this. Here's a pink person, right there, with the thing, like this. So, yeah, like the pain. What trees are like the journey, the path of growth. You know, you start off as a seed and you grow, you make these roots, you expand. Yeah, this is the tree of life, the path. This represents time, And so you can see this trunk is fairly strong, and it starts branching out. There's all these colors that you're decorating your life with. You know, the area around here is fairly maintained. It's not like overgrowing. Now, you know, all these imperfections, all these decorations are like all these little adventures that made you unique, made you special, made you creative. Like, how do you get up here? Well, you invented a string system to help you out, because you couldn't get up there naturally. So you invented a way how to have fun, how to make the most of your time, how to embrace your intelligence, your creativity, by choosing self-mastery, by using your creativity to solve your problems, to overcome your obstacles, and have fun while doing it. And so all these imperfections become like badges of honor, reminders that you went through something very difficult and you came out alive. And so what is this? This is another individual who is doing the same thing on the same spiritual journey. And so there's a friendly connection in the future, whatever form that may take. Lovers, mates, friends, family, community. The thing is, you can't ever resonate with someone when you are incomplete. If you are incomplete, if you are not whole, if you have addictions, if you seek reliance, if you have any sort of dependency on either a substance or a person or something, then if you meet another person, you're never going to resonate. It will be a failed relationship because both of you are not whole. In order for a relationship to actually be strong and healthy, two people need to be whole first. And so that is why you embrace the individuality, is because look at these characters. They're very individual. They've mastered their form. Fireman over here has mastered the flame and is doing his fiery thing. And Fairy Girl over here has mastered the fairiness of both the light and the dark, the balance of the shadow and the exposure. And so, you know, if they actually want to form a relationship, if they are both whole and complete as an individual, then that's a healthy connection. Right now, there's still self-mastery. You know, they're looking in opposite directions because they're not destined to meet yet, because they still have growing to do. And once they've mastered themselves, then they can have each other. But in this particular reading, there is more growth and development that needs to happen, which is fitting for a 111 reading, because all you have is a seed. And so this is the path that you're taking. It will grow through time, through effort, by choosing yourself to put in enough nourishment into your path, into your own prosperity, and to not let toxic elements, toxic characters, drain what should be going towards your future, towards your path. And so what you want is growth, is abundance, is change. This represents decay. There's something that's taxing, something that's draining. And these two characters in reverse is like a toxic community that you wanted a friendship with, but they're not providing. And so it's quite a pain when they reject you, when they ostracize you, when they damage you just for fun, because they're at a lower vibration. They're bored, and they see you as a soft target. When you have a heart of gold, a heart of pink. I mean, you've been broken over and over again, and they couldn't ever go through the same things. They have their addictions, they have their dependencies. All you have is you, and you're used to pain. And so what this pain does, spiritually, energetically, all the pain that you've received, it doesn't go to waste. It allows for these abilities, for this spiritual clarity, for spiritual energy. It's a form of protection. It's ricochet energy. It's return to sender. All you're used to is pain. So all this damage, you constantly learn again and again how to heal, how to endure, and heal and endure, heal and endure. And so eventually you learn to not fight the battle anymore, because they're not worth the time, they're not worth the energy. You gotta keep your resources for yourself, and so you can focus on the path that will lead you to your true people. Now, this is also ricochet confirmation with these two cards. Pain was done to you. It's sending right back to sender. Like, it's right here. You know, upright, it's like an adventure. It's like a purpose for something, but in reverse, it's like whatever path you wanted with these characters. It didn't turn out into a story. It didn't turn out into an adventure. You were just left isolated and alone, which was very damaging. These were the people you wanted as friends, and they didn't meet you there. They became your enemies. They left you broken, alone, crying, bleeding, and they didn't mend you. And so, you endured the pain. You harvested that pain, and you returned it right back to sender. You've mastered this talent because you're so used to what they're doing. They're receiving karma because of it, and their social opportunities will fail because of that. And so you have learned to honor your sacred cups of energy, cups of emotions. You're honoring your heart, your spirit. You're learning that you have to be at your best before you can give your energy to anyone else. And so you're keeping your reserves away from anybody else. And so you have enough. So you can heal again, so you can ricochet again. So you can avoid these characters that don't respect you. And when you fill up your own cup, when you go through all this pain and misery, you learn how to mend yourself. Then you enjoy your time when you're all alone. And this inspires you to create even more. And you create all these stories. You make your career grow. You're attracting better people in your life. Like right here. This is like you with the idea. Right here. And you're thinking about this in the future. You're making things happen. You know, right here, this tree. This tree is little right now. So it's like you're just putting in the seed. And then it's gonna grow. This is the beginning. And then in your other future, your far future, this is its potential. And now you can't waste your energy on characters that do not align with this, because trees can rot from within. So just like people, they die from the inside. Okay, that's what trees do. They decay and die. They rot from within. And that's what these people are doing. These abusers, these toxic manipulators. And so what they do to you, they damage you. And they kill you on the inside as well. And so you learned how to redirect that energetically, spiritually, right back onto them. You learned how to fill up your own cup, to water and nourish your path for destiny. This has strengthened you, because they were never attacked in the way that they attacked you. So they don't have the same defenses. And so when they're lashing out, they can't handle this ricochet energy. And so, they're getting karma. That is confirmed. Their social opportunities are draining them. And their trees are rotting from the inside, just like their personalities. Now, you have great things ahead in your future. You know, this is the dark night of the soul, where, you know, both of these cards. Dark night of the soul, like, this is when it first happened, and you're trying to process it, and then this was like the crying alone, really going through it. This is called shadow work, where you're integrating all the pain, and then you revisit the triggers, and you're sitting with it, and it doesn't affect you as much as it did, because you processed it, and you're healing. That is a healing mechanism. And so that was the past. And so now, this is you. In creative mode, this was survival. Now you're in creative mode. This is 111 energy. This is the new path. And you're planting the seeds. You're doing your creative thing. And you're growing opportunities. Forming real connections with people worthy of your time, worthy of your attention, and who will respect you. An actual team, an actual friendship. And here, this is your future. Your career path, your product line, everything. So it's looking fantastic for you. You got good things coming. And again, you've learned how to fill up your own cup. And so you put yourself first before you can help others, before you can give your time and attention to other things. You come first. And the real people in your life, they are going to go through this process as well. And so they're never going to treat you like these fallen, rotting characters. These characters, they have addictions. They have toxic behaviors. They can't control themselves. They're clinging on to things. They're playing with people's hearts for entertainment, for fun. And so when you're trying to make friends, again, you have to be complete. You have to be whole. And so when you're distressed, when you're damaged, then you're more likely to develop addictions or dependencies or compromise to try to fit into the group, into the toxic dynamic, when what you have to do is remove yourself from the toxicity and focus on your own development, so you get back into that harmonized state, master yourself, embrace your individuality, and you'll find these other individuals. So that's my message to you. Just remember your boundaries. This is 111. You don't want anything tainting your tree. This is your future. This is your far future. Okay, this is your near future where you're interacting with people right now. Right now, you are just a seed emerging from your shell. You know, the shell broke open because you're ready to expand. And so, much like these creatures with exoskeletons, they have to shed the outer shells so they can grow and expand. This is a very similar process. And so now, you know, look at this little thing. And it evolved into this. This is you right now. You're ready to start on your path. You know, this is the seed of your career, of your future, of your opportunities in life, and you're headed towards amazing things. However, there's always going to be toxic things that you have to watch out for and remove. Remove the toxicity from your life. Return to sender. You know, don't deal with the negativity. You don't want the poison to go into your well. Alright, you gotta keep the toxic people, toxic environments, toxic elements. This could be toxic food, any type of poison. You want this away from your own well. You need to guard whatever you have within you that you rely on. And so you always have this to heal yourself, you always have your reserve, you know, energetically, emotionally. You know, if you're having a tough day like this, someone puts you through this again, you're so used to going through this, you get, someone disappoints you socially, you have these coping methods, like a video game, like watching cat videos, to make you smile again, to lift up those spirits, to focus on the things that are, to actively focus on positive things rather than toxic social dynamics. And that will help you heal, that will help you fill up your cup, and you'll get out of survival mode, stay in creativity mode, and get more work done towards your career. So this is a sign of karma right here. Ricochet energy. You can believe that's real. So 111 energy. You know, you're alone. You're not seeing the results, but great things are coming in your future. You already put in a strong foundation for this to build upon, and that was necessary. You always want a strong foundation. These other characters, they don't have a strong foundation. This is the time of the tower moment for them, and for you, it's a different kind of tower. A tower with a solid foundation never falls. And so it might have took you a lot more time to develop. Like, this tree could take many more years. And so, you know, it was always just like a little twig, but it had a solid root structure, and it took its time to grow and develop. And it was constantly in these harsh environments, which strengthened the roots. It strengthened its foundations in every way possible. And so now, you know, you're ready to grow. This is the type of tree that will be everlasting, you know. So all this pain that the people put you through, it was to strengthen your core, your roots. And so now you're unmoving in your resolve, because you know how to weather the storm. and you know how to become the storm. So, this is wonderful news. Just make sure that you always take care of yourself. If you're tired, you need the rest, you gotta take care of you before you can take care of anyone else. So, just remember that. Master yourself, and then you will resonate with other masters to find true friendship. Okay, so that was it. That was your individual reading for the 111 portal time reading. Pile 11. There you go.